Alright, I'm embarking on a solo mission today. I'll talk about that here in a second. Let me get fired up. Let it warm up a little bit. So why do I go out solo when one of the rules in the backcountry is always have a buddy? As you've probably seen from previous moto vlogs. Oh, this is looking fairly filled in here. Nice. But anyway, previous moto vlogs, I'm out with buddies, and I take every chance I can. I really appreciate being out with them, especially with recent incidents. The last episode, buddy Maury, and I'll follow up about that in a second. But anyway, back to going solo. There's a few reasons that I do it. One is I've learned in a place with not a lot of population, like where I'm at, it's not always easy finding buddies that have same ambitions, skill, objectives, all those things. So I learned early on, and this goes back to like anything, mountain biking, trail running, variety of things I like to do out in the backcountry. I just learned that if you are always dependent on other people to go out, a lot of times you'd be sitting at home. So I just kind of made that conscious choice because I'm on an agenda of adventures and fitness. So I found it's easier finding people in winter to get out with, but it's just such a low population area. Not a lot of options, and schedules don't line up, and then the other reason is that I do a lot of adventures that just it's best that other people aren't there, mostly for their sake, because some of them are pretty gnarly in that they're not really fun for people. So finding a partner that wants to go through some crazy jungle fest or something, they just wouldn't be too happy at the end of the day. And then I have kind of another thing too is, we'll see what's been happening here. Another thing is, wow, there's a lot of wolf tracks. Kind of look a little wolf track like. Anyway, what I was saying is, I've got a certain skill set too that some of what I do, it's just people don't have that skill set or fitness level. It's just kind of not, it's hard for me to find a match for that. If I lived in a bigger area with a lot more people, you know, like an adventure town like Jackson Hole, or if I was in Boise or something, or Bend, there's a lot more people that I can match up with. So anyway, it is what it is. It's not ideal, but sometimes it's even, in a way, sometimes it's safer to be by yourself. By that I mean, when you're in groups, you go slower just because of people stopping, different things happening, people getting separated from the group. And some of the with the backcountry, sometimes it's best to be getting things done fast, keep moving, and when you're solo, that's sometimes the quickest way, or just have one partner. Ideally, that's the setup for going fast, one partner, similar skill level. So anyway, that's some of the rationale behind it. I'd prefer to be out with people, but not always the case. And I was reading an article a while back about how you should be making decisions in the backcountry as if you were solo anyway. Like, in other words, like if I'm going to do something gnarly hill climb, just because I have partners there that can rescue me doesn't mean I should do it. Or from an avalanche standpoint, if I'm concerned at all that something's going to avalanche, I shouldn't be doing it regardless if people are there that can dig me out or not. Because the bottom line is, if you get hurt in the backcountry, it's not a good scenario. We got lucky the other day in that we were in a spot not far from where a helicopter can land, and we had cell service and a lot of other tools. So, you know, I look back at the log, in 1 hour, that's all it took. He was on the helicopter and off to Boise. 1 hour. I don't even know if you could do it that quick out on the highway, like if you're on Minum Grade or something. I don't know if you could be on a helicopter in an hour. Between, you know, when it happens and people finding you and making the call. And so that was actually, I thought it couldn't have gone much better from a timeliness standpoint. And props to the helicopter pilot, pun intended, for putting it down on the snow there. That was kind of a difficult spot. Visibility wasn't the greatest. Anyway, a follow-up didn't end up being a broken femur, but there's been some news stories about it too. I got one of my pictures is up on there, and they talked to me some. But the soft tissue injury was just a gaping hole. It was really nasty. It could have been worse. A couple millimeters from hitting the main femoral artery, that's bad. And that's what, yeah, we all got lucky. And it's still a nasty injury. I bet the rehab, it's harder for that muscle and soft tissue to heal than a bone, so not good. Could have been worse. It's nice out here not being on a crazy bumpy trail. There's been a couple snowmobiles out here, or maybe just one. But anyway, it's a smooth ride. I think we're getting up out of this inversion. It's gonna be warm up high. Snow down here is a little crisp. Surface hoar back there. avoid these death cookies. These things can be deadly. They roll down the mountain when the sun hits and it's warm, and then they freeze up overnight. It's like some of them can get pretty big too. They're more of a problem when you're skiing. If you hit one of those, you could snap your femur or knee. So they've done some logging up here. The snowpack isn't quite deep enough yet for me to try to take a shortcut up here. Through the new logging. Yeah, it's really opened it up. Yeah, in fact, I think I could cut up through there. It's a little shortcut, it doesn't save too much time. Okay, usually there's a few hazards through here, including some streams that come across when it's warm like this. Not too bad here. And then there's a cattle guard down here that's caused me some grief before. And you never know if there's a rock stuck underneath. So I'm just kind of going cautious down here. Yeah, the streams haven't opened up. I guess it hasn't quite been warm enough. Stay on the deeper looking snow. It's pretty thin in here. Well, don't expect much excitement on the camera today. I'm just out cruising around talking about the big event from the last moto vlog. And there's a couple things I got to do with the camera off. So, sorry about that. Okay. Oh, wait, the cattle guard has snow piled up on it? Am I believing my eyes? Usually it sinks down through there. What? I've had major problems getting across this. It's a good day. Just keep our fingers crossed we get no rain. But I think our January melt, we always have a January warm spell right before MLK, and then the floodgates open MLK with big snow, and from there it's pretty much winter as far as backcountry goes. It gets deep, and then all through February, March usually keeps piling on. April even, sometimes we get some big snowfalls in April. Some of my best powder days have been April. So, even though there's fence posts poking out, at least we got a little base here that sets us up for what's about to transpire. This is another cattle guard that sometimes gives some problems, but look at that. Super easy. Yeah, I made it across the snow bridge. Wasn't sure if that was going to be in or not. Hopefully there's no big trees down up here. Alright, it was a good day. Some good stuff in. Now I gotta drive back anything comes to mind, I'll spit some fire or BS, which is basically the same thing. But otherwise, we'll be calling it a wrap unless I see some big wolf or something. I think those were wolf tracks I saw earlier. But I didn't stop to investigate. I was on a different mission today. See how these western larches are doing. Recently thinned out nicely. So soft in here. Creek bed. A log. Get out of there. I think I felt something with my foot. Things lurking under the snow. And let's not forget, I'm solo.